Hello people and welcome back to another hardware review, and we are back with Geek Vape. This time we're looking at the Obelisk 60 AIO. They're carrying on the range of the Obelisk. They did the one where you could charge it up in 15 minutes. I think it was 130 watts. Well, this one's a little bit different. You haven't got that fast charging with it, but it does go up to 60 watts. It's got an inbuilt 2200 mAh battery, and I think it's a pretty damn good looking device. Well, people, we know what we do. We've got to get this review on the road. This is the box. That's everything you do get in the box. And that was the box. So, the Obelisk 60 AIO from Geek Vape. Now, it sort of reminds me of the Kylin M mod that Vandy Vape came out with. But it is a very, very good looking mod. So, let's go top to bottom like we normally do. We'll start off with the pod itself. Now, it looks like it's a 510 drip tip, as you can see as you take it off. But when you do actually get a 510 drip tip and try and put it in, it doesn't fit in. So it's slightly bigger than a 510 drip tip, so it isn't interchangeable. You have got top airflow. It is mirrored on either side, and it does lock off. I really do like this airflow. Now, the pod itself is a 4mm pod. It'll be 2mm if it's TPD compliant. It is a side fill. A little bit of a nightmare to get this open. I've had no airlocks or anything like that, but when you are actually filling it, you're sort of having to chase the e-liquid. So as you fill it, you have to like sort of tip it and then start rolling it, because the e-liquid goes into the top of here, and then roll it around again and then stop before it comes out of the actual filling port. So it is a little bit of a nightmare. Why didn't they actually put the filling port here or maybe on here? There's plenty of room and it would have been a lot easier, but no, they put it there. Just push it down. Now, with this darkened plastic as well, I've been finding it hard to see the level of my e-liquid as well. It's just been a little bit hard to see it. We have a little look at the bottom. You've got a magnet there, and that's where your coils fit in. Now, the coils that you get with this are the P series coils, and they are canthal. The first one you get with this is the 0.4 ohm coil, and that's best between 50 and 60 watts. And the second one you get with this is the 0.5 ohm coil, and both of these are mesh, and it's best between 40 and 50 watts. Let you have a little look around. We've seen these in the Boost Pro. Really, really, really good coils. Make sure you do prime your coils up. Put a little bit of e-liquid around here and some in the top. And then when you do put it into your pod, leave it for about 5 to 10 minutes and let it saturate. Now, if you look on the coil itself, if I just tip it that way, you'll be able to see there's a flat edge just here and a flat edge just there. If you look at the pod, there's a flat edge and a flat edge there. Make sure you just marry them up. Here's a plug and play or a push and pull, whichever you want to say, and then just push it down like that. Make sure it is down flat. Now, if you do have any problems trying to get it out, the wonderful people at Geek Vape have given us a little tool as well. The only thing you've got to do is just slip that underneath your actual coil, and then it just gives you a little bit of leverage to get it out. So that'll bend, there you go, and it takes it out like that. So if you have a look at the top of the mod, you'll be able to see you've got your magnets either side, and they marry up to your pod. You've then got your contacts in the center. To fit the pod itself, it's very simple. Just marry the magnets up, and then it just clicks in. That's not going to go anywhere. Them magnets are really, really strong. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to take the pod out. It's that strong. There is a little slight wobble to it, but not very much, and it doesn't make any noises when you shake it. It's not janky at all. So the device itself, I really do like the look of it. It reminds me of the Kylin M. It looks pretty smart. I think it's made out of zinc alloy. We've got the gunmetal one. I will show you when we go back up on top the different colours you can get. And then you've got this reflective plate as well, which is a big fingerprint magnet. Tells you that it is a Geek Vape on that side, and it is mirrored again on this side. Now, if you have a little look there, and on that side, that's where you're supposed to be able to see the level of your e-liquid. I've not been able to do that. I've had to take the pod off to see how much juice I've actually got left. On the front, you'll be able to see you've got your fire button, your plus button, and your minus button. On the bottom, you should be able to just see that. It tells you it's Obelisk AIO 60. You've got your kite marks, don't vape in a bin, designed by Geek Vape, and it tells you it's got an inbuilt 2200 mAh battery and it's made in China. You've got your Type-C charging, which is at this side. It roughly takes about an hour and a half to fully charge up. Obviously, the other Obelisk that came out, the mod, that had all the charging where you could charge it up within 15 minutes. This hasn't got it, but you're getting some really good battery life from this. So the menu, now it is a little bit hard to see this on camera, but you've got your fire button, you've got your screen, you've got your plus and your minus. Now it is 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. It will come up with Geek Vape, a very familiar screen. We've all seen this before if you've got a Geek Vape product. If you look at the top, you've got your battery indicator. It goes down in segments. Then you've got what mode you've got it in. You've then got your wattage or your temperature control. You've then got your ohms, your amps, your voltage, and also your puff counter, and also how many seconds you've held it in for. Now if you click it 3 times, you'll see that, there we go, it'll highlight the power. You then go to TC stainless steel, then you've got your temperature control and TCR, you've got your curves, your bypass, and then back to power. If you press it again, it'll then go to lock your resistance, and then if you press it again, it goes to clear your puff counter. If you press it again, it highlights the power, long press, and that selects everything that you've done there. Now if you hold the plus and the minus button in together, there you go, it will lock the device, and you'll be able to see that there is a little lock icon there. You can't move your wattage up and down, but you can still fire it. If you hold it in again, it'll unlock the device. You'll be able to see that your little lock icon's gone. Now if you hold the fire button and either the plus or the minus button, it will bring down the brightness of your screen or move it back up. Like I did say, it is a little bit hard to see on camera, but that was the menu. So that was an up and close look at the Obelisk 60 AIO from Geek Vape. But what do we reckon? Let's go top to bottom like we normally do, and we'll start off with the pod itself. Now the drip tip is supposed to be a 510 drip tip. It isn't. It's bigger than a 510 drip tip. I've tried so many on it and it just doesn't fit in properly. So it isn't a 510 drip tip. It has got its own airflow, and I really do like that airflow on it. You can adjust it. We'll do that in a little while when we do the vape test. Now the pod itself, it is so dark you can't see the level of your e-liquid. So you've got a little window there and you've got a little window there. You can't see the level of your e-liquid. So every time you wanted to look what level it's at, you're having to take the pod out and having a little look at it. Then when you put it back in, it then comes up with new coil. So every time you're checking it, you've then got to go, is it a new coil or is it an old coil? You've got to press that. It's just annoying. So then when you do want to go to fill it, they've then put the fill port on the side. So once you've filled it back up again, you then put it back on. And then it comes back up again. New coil. That's just so annoying. And I don't know why they've made it as a side fill when you've got all that room on the top of it. You could have just made it where you just slid it across and you filled it from the top and you wouldn't have to worry about that. They needed to make that pod a little bit clearer so you can see the level of your e-liquid, and they should have made it a top fill. It would have been perfect. This entire device then would have been perfect. Now this takes the P series coils, which is the same as the Boost Pro. We've reviewed that on the channel. Love these coils. So you get a 0.4 ohm mesh coil. They are Canthal, and that's best between 50 and 60 watts. You then get a 0.5 ohm mesh coil, and that's best between 40 and 50 watts. We've got the 0.4 ohm coil in here coming out at 50 watts. We've got the airflow wide open. Let's have a vape and see what we think. These coils are absolutely bang on. You're getting dense vapor. You can see the clouds that you're getting from that, and the flavour is absolutely corking. And that's off of both coils. You can't fault these P series coils. Like I said, it's just a shame that it's so dark you can't see your e-liquid level, and I would have liked to have seen them change it to a top fill. What about the device itself? It's got an inbuilt 2000 mAh battery. They're saying that you're going to be able to get 48 hours of it. I I don't really get that long out of it. I think you're definitely getting a day out of it. You're definitely getting a day, but you're not getting 48 hours out of it. Unless you don't vape that much. But the way I vape, you're getting a day out of it. So it's really perfect for, like, if you're going out to the pub or you're having a day out, you've got something there you can take. And you know it's going to last. I like the way it looks. I love the way the device looks. Like I said, I've said it a few times in this review that it does remind me a little bit of the Kylin M, but I do like this look a lot better because you had the sort of like the Kylin written boldly in their mod, where you haven't got that on here. This is the gunmetal version. I will put above one of my shoulders the different colours you can get. You have got that plate that's on there. It is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. It doesn't really bother me. The screen and the actual chipset we've all seen before. Very, very simple to navigate. You've got everything that you want on there. Your wattage, your bypass, your temperature control. Like I said, very simple to use. No jankiness at all. I did show you there is a little bit of a wobble on the pod, but you can't hear anything. Not too much at all. Type-C charging on there as well. It takes roughly about an hour and a bit to fully charge. They're saying that it is scratch resistant. It's also got resistance to humidity and temperature change as well. And it's also fully recyclable. Recyclable. There you go, another word by Little Bro. All in all, what do I reckon to this device? I think you can tell, apart from the pod, if they'd have just done them two things, this is one corking device. You're not going to look too shabby taking that to a restaurant or going out anywhere. And like I said, you've got a battery for the full day. The P-series coils are absolutely corking. I'll just bring this airflow down for you. You are getting a nice restricted direct to lung from this. And a nice warm vape with it as well. The pod itself is a 4mm pod, so you've got plenty of capacity there. Yeah, big shout out from Little Bro. I really do like this. So this has been another review by Little Bro. You know what to do, people. If you've liked the review, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. The subscribe button's in the corner. Give it a little press again to that new magic number. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go and hit me up. Also, if you'd like to support the channel like all them wonderful people at the beginning of the review, the Patreon link is down below. One last thing to say, look after yourselves and keep them juices flowing. Don't forget to check out my latest video. Also, don't forget to check out 3 Men and a Vape Show live at 8 PM every Wednesday. And also, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, and we'll catch you later.